your head.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward. Ad Astra Abyssosk. Hold that pose! The show begins!
Silence!
Illusion shattered!
Bow your head.
There is no escape! Say cheese! Breaking news!
Settle down.
Illusion shattered! May I present?
Silence!
No escape! The show begins!
Bow your head. Another test subject.
Hold that pose!
The wrong test subject.
May I...
Shine down!
Shower me with praise! Smile!
Illusion shattered!
Ah,
There is no escape! Illusion
Settle down.
say cheese!
Bow your head.
Shine down!
Smile!
Torn to oblivion! There is no escape!
Hold that pose!
Shine down!
May I present Smile?
There is no escape!
Hold that pose!
Shine down! Illusion shell.
Say cheese!
Settle down.
Shine down.
The show begins! Hold that pose!
Bow your head.
There is
Say cheese!
I can't take a good photograph without an interesting subject. I really have to force myself to press the shutter button if I'm not excited by what I'm snapping. To be honest, I'd prefer to have an animo-vision. Being able to fly around freely would make getting to interviews so much easier. A cryovision's not too bad, though. At least I don't need to worry about my camera overheating. Now that her father's name's been cleared and the case of the serial disappearances of young women is resolved, I guess Navia must be able to finally breathe a little easier. I don't know why, but somehow she's found herself at the epicenter of all sorts of bad news lately. Luckily for her, I've been snatching up all the articles that mention her and doing whatever damage control I can before they get published. and, then getting told off constantly by Euphrasie for interfering. But you know, I think Navia deserves a break, so I'm happy to take one for the team. Also, she agreed to do an in-depth exclusive interview, which definitely sweetens the deal. Ah, surprise, surprise. Lenny refused an interview with me once again. Do you know how many times that is now? Actually, I've lost count. But never mind. Evading me only further confirms my suspicion that he's hiding the news story of a lifetime. As long as I keep digging, I'll find it. And when I do, it will shake the world like no other news report in history. No matter what question you pose to her, Lynette just calmly lowers her eyes with an expressionless look on her face. It's like she's some sort of clockwork doll. I'm really tempted to write an article titled something like The Genius Magician's Puppet Assistant, Magic's Best Kept Secret. But I have a sneaking suspicion that even that wouldn't get a reaction out of her. Clorinde is one of the most well-known champion duelists in Fontaine, but she's also the most mysterious. I have a source who tells me that she uses some sort of mystical ritual to keep her weapon as good as new. Could this be the secret behind her famously undefeated track record in the duelist ring? I'd love to spring that question on her one day, but I don't think I'll get the chance. She's publicly stated that she doesn't accept interviews. So, did you get to meet the Duke in person? Yeah? Any nuggets of information that I should know about? Never mind the credit coupons, the coupon cafeteria. If a man will not work, he shall not eat. That's all just generic filler. I'm talking about personal anecdotes about the man of Meripede himself. Huh? What do you mean, confidentiality? Oh, not you too. We had a deal. That does it. Remember that gigantic feast I treated you to? I want my money back. Get your butts back to prison and do your time, you swindlers, you! Emily makes the best perfume in the whole court of Fontaine. She introduced me to this amazing one the other day that works as an insect repellent, antiperspirant, and deodorant all in one. Oh, it's a total lifesaver for someone like me who spends so much time zooming around all over the place. Oh, I actually sprayed some on my wrist today. Go on, take a whiff. Oh, it's heavenly. I did a little snooping around at Chioria Boutique once. Aside from the wealthy housewives of Fontaine and the box-ticking tourists from overseas, some of the regular customers there look like really rough characters. Big muscly types with scars on their face, guys in masks and hats with their swords drawn. But they always come bearing gifts and acting like humble servants. Yeah, well, mostly. Anyone with a bad attitude is literally sent flying back out the door. Seriously, I snapped a photo of a guy being thrown out once. He was like 4 feet in the air. I've met Fremine a few times since being introduced. He quickly took an interest in Monsieur Verite, that's my camera/assistant, and even made a few improvements to my lenses. I gotta say though, my heart was in my mouth watching him completely dismantle Monsieur Verite in a matter of seconds. Amazing he managed to reassemble it just as swiftly. He seems very experienced. I was convinced he must have graduated from the Fontaine Research Institute, but he denied it. If you want to interview the Udex, you have to provide all the interview questions in advance and get them reviewed by the relevant department at the Palais Mermonia, who decide which questions to approve and which ones you're not allowed to ask. It's their way of making sure the interview goes off without a hitch. Oh, it's such a rigmarole. I'm losing the will to live just talking about it. Lady Farina has a very captivating presence. She was born to be a star. Euphrasie once assigned a journalist to shadow her, but he quit not long into the assignment. From what I've heard, the reason he left was that Farina insisted on seeing every photo he took of her right away, and she'd make him redo it if she wasn't happy with how it turned out. Apparently, she was so picky that the poor guy once had to take 127 shots of her in the same pose before she was content.
I'm very confident in my singing skills, but there aren't many pieces of music that are worthy of my vocal prowess. I hope the creatives in the theater troupe get their act together and don't keep me waiting in vain. Once the ancient prophecy came to an end and everything was over, I fell into low spirits for a very long time. People who stand on the stage basking in the adulation of their audience must also bear the pressures of being in the public eye and living up to everyone's expectations. But I knew very well my person wouldn't be enough, and that putting on the act of a god would be the only way to satisfy their adoration. And at the end of the day, all I ever experienced was loneliness. So, there came a point when I loathed the very thought of acting and locked myself in my room. It wasn't until the moment I stood on stage and faced the audience again that I realized the anxiety in my heart had dissipated. The reason I can now stand before the crowd's watchful gaze is perhaps because I have finally started to act as myself. Of course I know Linny and Lynette. I used to frequently attend their magic shows. Though they're very popular, they're still much less popular than me. Only my performances would draw a completely sold-out crowd. Even standing tickets would be out. But now, I've already decided to hang up my acting career, so it's perfectly normal for my popularity to decline. I'm very grateful to Nervilette for all the hard work he's done for Fontaine in the past few centuries. It seems he doesn't intend to investigate my crimes of deceiving the people. Anyway, we're no longer working in tandem. And it's been a long time since I've been to the Palais Mermonia. I imagine that this is good for both of us, right? Have you tried Navia's macarons? I have to admit that her skills in dessert making are comparable to mine. The design she paints on the macarons is so cute, don't you think? Not to mention the texture and sweetness. They truly are a work of art. How does she do it? Does it really all boil down to talent? Ugh, I can't believe I'm feeling a little jealous. I'll have to ask her for some tips next time. She's a very strong person. Strong people will always manage to keep themselves together no matter what happens, acting like everything is fine. Doing so prevents other people around them from needlessly bearing additional pressure. I saw the duel between Callus and Chlorand, and I can say that in this respect, Navia is becoming more and more like her father. The knave? Who's that? Oh! Died already. Forgotten about her. Keeping such a terrible figure like her in your mind will only give you nightmares. I've often seen Charlotte busily running back and forth lately. She still seems to be hoping to arrange an exclusive interview with me. No matter how many times I refuse, she still hasn't given up. To be honest, her persistence made me angry at first. But then she told me with a resolute look in her eyes that she wanted to let people understand the real Farina, and that she believed people would understand my troubles. I don't know how to respond to her kind intentions. I suppose she might be right, but I'm just not ready yet. I haven't communicated with him much, but Nervillette claims he's trustworthy, so I suppose he must be a good person. Oh, come to think of it, I've received some tea from Risley before, and it was exquisite. As I remember, Chlorand isn't very talkative, but she has stood by me and protected me on several occasions, so I trust her very much. I do miss her ever so slightly, but I don't have any real reason to see her now. Oh, right! I should invite her to my next tea party!
There'll be an extra fee for that.